Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog in HD with me, the Smackdown representative, Daniel Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me here, the Raw representative, it's NJ!
What's up?
What's up, NJ? What's up to you guys out there? Today we're going to be doing our draft special, but before we go into this video, make sure you guys subscribe up above, like the video, and post your comments down below. NJ, where can they find us? Where can they contact us?
In the links in the description box below.
And explain what we're going to be doing today.
Today we're going to be talking about our draft picks. We have the Smackdown General Manager and the Raw General Manager.
And I have Teddy Long on the phone waiting in case there's any decisions that need to be made.
And now we're going to start with the Smackdown's first pick.
Thank you. Smackdown get the first pick for once. Right, so my first pick would be Mr. Boring himself. Fuck you, Randy Orton. Oh yeah, I just give it away. It'll be Randy Orton, mainly because at the moment SmackDown needs someone to replace his Edge's Void as the main face. Even though I don't like him as a face, I still think he would be the top guy, and we haven't, and that is kind of what the show's need at the moment: two top guys in Cena and Orton.
And I think that is a perfect point. You've lost Edge, which is sad, we all know. So taking Orton, someone who's our top face and will do good from what he's done on Raw. On SmackDown. Yeah.
One of your top faces, really, with Cena up there.
Yeah.
But, well, we won't talk about Cena.
No.
Yeah, I just think Randy Orton would be good for the SmackDown. He'd be a definite guy who you'd push as champion, even though he probably doesn't deserve it that much. But he's the kind of guy who can run believably with the championship, kind of like Edge was. And maybe if you improve him as a face, you can have him as a top face.
But hopefully, when you take him on SmackDown, you'll turn him heel.
Hopefully. I'm going to talk to Teddy Long about that, but I think the idea is to have him as a face at the moment.
That's a shame. But now, my pick. This person should never have left our show because he was in the main event on our show, and then when you took him on SmackDown, I don't know what you were thinking, but whatever. Wade Barrett.
I can't believe you're taking Wade Barrett from
He was in the main event on Raw. He had the shot at the title many times, and he did not win, which was sad ideas from us. But I think with having him back, he'll go for it, and hopefully within a couple of months win it.
To be honest, I'm hoping you guys on Raw can do what us guys on SmackDown never did and make him a fucking main eventer. Because at the moment he's in a faction which is going nowhere. He's the Intercontinental Champion, of course, which is a belt that doesn't mean anything anymore. But hopefully, when you take him to SmackDown, you can get him in the main event. And of course, you've got the IC Championship going with you too.
I think we'll do that because obviously he's been the main event with us before, so why can't we do it again?
And we've seen how well he works as a heel with people like John Cena, so why not put him in another rivalry with someone like John Cena or a CM Punk?
That, yes.
A CM Punk rivalry would be brilliant right now. Two ex-Nexus members and stuff.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Talking about the IC title, the next, the logical choice for me on SmackDown, of course, good old SmackDown, would be to take the US champion Sheamus, mainly because we need the mid-card title. And of course, Sheamus, we all know Sheamus is a great wrestler, and he's not really getting promoted as much on Raw as he could be. He used to be a main eventer, but then he went on that losing streak. He won the King of the Ring, but he's gone downhill since. And I think being on SmackDown, he could improve himself, he could improve his status, and maybe even go into the main event scene.
We've had Sheamus in the main events before, as you just said, and I think with SmackDown there are not easier wrestlers to go against, but they're more his level, we say, because he can go on there and face. Who do we have?
He could be a dominant wrestler on SmackDown.
Yeah, because there's many people he could go against.
There's plenty of jobbers he can face. We've seen the amount of jobbers.
And then build him up to hopefully the main event again.
Okay. So
now, my next pick. Again, I'm glad we're having him because I think there's people on here who he could face. And we're taking Drew McIntyre.
Oh, you mean our ultimate jobber, the chosen one who should be in the main event?
Yes, because I think with him on here, a perfect opponent for him would be CM Punk.
Yes.
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, I think would make a good match.
But you'd have to turn Drew McIntyre face, which is something that SmackDown has failed with on numerous occasions, even including Kelly in there.
That's true. He makes a great heel, but I think with the wrestlers on Raw, he would make a great face on our show.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have any problems with him going to Raw because at the moment on SmackDown he's being very underused. He should definitely be in the mid-card scene, maybe even in the main event scene. But if he's not going to be there, I'd like to see him on Raw, getting in a good rivalry and actually being able to utilise his chosen one gimmick, which it could be quite good. Could be quite good for the company.
I think he'll relive that. Yeah. I think on Raw he'll get a wake-up call from his opponents and he'll bring back the chosen one.
Hopefully he will do well on Raw if he's drafted, of course. We will use predictions, but there are drafts. What we would do. The The next draft for me on SmackDown would be none other than Sin Cara. And do you know what? Do you want to know why I put Sin Cara on SmackDown?
Well, the way I'd say it is SmackDown, as Jerry said a couple of months back, is SmackDown's a starter show. And I think he needs to be put on there to be built up better than how we would be up on Raw for us this week.
And also, I think SmackDown would be a better place for him to display his skills. There's more there's a better mid card division there, meaning you can go up against better mid carders and promote himself a little bit better. Maybe even make it to the main event scene. Who knows? I mean, SmackDown could do with a main event face right now.
I think Sin Cara, yes, he's done okay on Raw. I'll give him that. But I think his image and his style is a SmackDown kind of style.
It's the blue image.
Yes. So I think it'd be good to go on SmackDown.
Yeah, I also think, and I think SmackDown's better for high flyers as well, as Raw is more sort of for the big guys and heavyweights and stuff.
That's true. That's true. Now, this is my favourite pick. People who watch our videos, you'll know I like this guy a lot. Kane. He should be back on the show, which he should never left from, even though Take's on SmackDown, so they did do that little Kane Take thing. But on Raw, he did a hell lot better, and I think, to be honest, him back on Raw, they'll slowly build him back up to be the monster, to be the probably WWE champion in a couple of months.
I do agree with that. What I think SmackDown have done really badly over these last couple of months, they had him as a champion, all of a sudden he's just dropped down to mid-carder, and not even that, and then he was, he's now involved in a tag team with Big Show, who's been booked really badly since. I think if he goes on Raw, he could relive the sort of monster gimmick, get involved in better matches, better rivalries, in my opinion. And just because of the fact that SmackDown are really underusing him and not using him correctly, a move to Raw would probably be beneficial to him. Which
was hard for me to watch SmackDown because Kane's been my favourite wrestler for a long time. Yeah. So to watch him on SmackDown, not winning the matches he should, not doing the things he should, it was just not easy to watch.
Okay then, so shall I go on to my next pick?
Go on.
My next pick would be the guy who dresses kind of like me, in a way, and is when he usually accompanies The Miz to the ring. I think, personally, my fourth pick would be Alex Riley, mainly because I think that they're going to separate him and Miz, and if you're going to keep Miz on that show, unless you're going to have a rivalry between him and Miz, you might as well bring him to SmackDown so he can showcase how good he is as a singles wrestler, because on Raw he's just been booked as a second-rate jobber to Miz, if you know what I mean.
He has, and we've seen him do okay on the Raw just gone, and I'm thinking on SmackDown, I can see him probably doing better because, again, just like we spoke about Sin Cara and Sheamus, there'll be better opponents for Alex Riley than there are on Raw.
Yeah, I think Alex Riley could definitely excel on Raw and SmackDown. And if you give him a good mid-card run, you can really develop this guy who has really potential talent to be a top face in the company. So, SmackDown will be a good starting block for him, as you said earlier. It's a starter show. It'll be a good starting block for him to develop his skills. What do you think?
That's true, and that leaves Miz to do what he does best, which it looks like is to be a heel.
Yeah, or maybe even a face, the way WWE are going at the moment.
No.
Go on, your next pick.
Okay, my last pick, because basically we just think SmackDown does need more wrestlers than Raw.
SmackDown's roster is so much less than Raw's, so...
I'm taking one Diva. I would take two, but I'm taking one, and that's Michelle McCool. I want to break up Laycool, because it's about time. They keep showing signs of breaking up, and I think the draft will split them up, and we'll have a dominant Diva, one of the dominant Divas on Raw. Yeah,
of course, with this whole Laycool's breakup thing going on, you've got Michelle McCool, who's probably going to turn heel, and Layla, who's probably going to turn face too. And if you have Layla on SmackDown still as a face, it could work a lot better than say how it is now. And Michelle McCool on Raw as well could be another dominant Diva, and the Divas division at the moment, as you know, is dead. You have even Bella's going after the title.
Well, I did say, I know I'm sticking with 4, but if I had anyone else other than Michelle McCool, it would be Beth Phoenix.
Have a fifth pick.
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, why
another Diva. Just because she's another Diva that was great. Maybe not have them back together, but show signs of Glamourella. Not have them together, but just show signs of having little segments. It'd be funny. And her going in matches with maybe both of them, Michelle and Beth Phoenix, on Raw and have great matches.
Well, while you're busy grabbing all the female wrestlers, I'm going to grab another male wrestler.
Go on.
My last pick, purely because he's not being used well on Raw, and since his breakup from Legacy, I think this is an obvious choice, Ted DiBiase. Mainly because, like I said, he's not been booked very well on Raw, he's been made to look like an idiot and a jobber. Why not bring him to SmackDown where he can be showcased a little bit better?
There is that chance that he can get used better on SmackDown, but like we said, we're only taking guesses, and I think Ted DiBiase does deserve better than what he had on Raw. And I think, as I've said about with Alex Riley, Sin Cara, and Sheamus, there are wrestlers on SmackDown which he could build up on.
Yeah, and of course with Ted DiBiase, you know, since his Pokemon legacy, just not been booked right. He could be booked a lot better on SmackDown, don't you think?
That's
and
true.
Maybe they can give him a different character. And he's also been making regular appearances on SmackDown. I believe he lost Rey Mysterio in a match once, so why not bring him to SmackDown? You know, now we've seen him on SmackDown more than we've seen him on Raw, really.
I think that would be a good choice to have.
Okay, so
but this brings us on to one thing. These are only guesses. These are who we want. It's not going to be finalised, our decisions, until next week.
Oh, we hope they will. Imagine if our picks were right, eh?
It would be very good.
Yeah.
But the reasonings of why we'd have these on the show might not come out that way. We might say, yeah, if I have Kane on my show, he'll get built up properly. It might not happen because we know what WWE writers are like. Yeah. But we've only taken our say.
Well, we know Kane and Big Show may become the tag champs or something.
Yeah, I only use Kane example. Like, we put, let's say, Sin Cara on you, or Alex Riley. They might not get anything on your show.
Exactly.
It's just up to the writers. But, as I said, these are just our choices for next week.
And to be honest, I think these are very good choices because I think it shows, like, you know, the chopping and changing that WWE can do now to improve both their shows by, you know, just switching guys around.
And we pick the guys that I think deserve to do better than what they have done.
Like, for example, you have on Raw the lack of mid-carders. You know, you're bringing over Drew McIntyre, Kane, people that could be good mid-carders, whereas SmackDown needs some main eventers. And, you know, you've got Randy Orton there, Sheamus can be a main eventer, Alex Riley is a future main eventer, you know.
That's
it
true.
could work.
And I think, as again, you're taking a main eventer, we all need a main eventer to replace that main eventer, so it's good that we're getting Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett could definitely have that potential to be a main eventer.
That is true, and I'm pretty sure, like you said, there's going to be many more coming, because, you know, there's these small little drafts.
Yeah.
We probably could be wrong, so who knows what's going to happen. We'll have to find out next week.
It's a 2-hour Raw next week, not a 3-hour Raw like we expected, so don't expect too much to happen. There's probably going to be about 4 or 5 picks of some sort. We don't really know what's going to happen.
I don't know what the headquarters were thinking. We spoke to them, but they just don't think it's a good idea.
Never answer our calls, do they? Never answer our calls. Oh, well.
But we'll have to see what happens next week.
Yeah, okay then. So if you guys, is that all you have to say, NJ?
That's it.
Okay, so if you guys have any thoughts on our draft picks or why we picked the drafts, or indeed your own draft picks, put them in the comment section below, or video responses as well. We always look at video responses and approve them, of course. I have been your SmackDown representative for the evening, Daniel Parkin, and this guy right next to me, NJ, has been your Raw representative. Oh my god, he's got the Bischoff look already. That has been it from us. Thank you for watching our video, and a very, very good goodbye.